Hello and welcome to another episode of Fantastic Fives, the show where we tell you the absolute correct 5 answers to a particular topic, and you tell us who we forgot and how wrong we are in the comments. This week, we're counting down the top 5 Marvel Batmen. Ever since Bob Kane and Bill Finger's creation swooped onto the scene in 1939's Detective Comics number 27, Batman has been often imitated but never duplicated. Well, except for all the times he's literally been duplicated, but you know that's not what I mean. If imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, then Batman must be constantly blushing from all the homages, analogs, parodies, rip-offs, pastiches, caricatures, and mockeries. This week, we'll just be focusing on Marvel's attempts to get in on some of the sweet Dark Knight action. Number 5, The Punisher. I know this one might seem a little odd since Batman and the Punisher have very different ways of doing things, but let's focus on the similarities for a minute. Whose origin is this? After the tragic death of his family, he swore to wage a one-man war on crime using a terrifying symbol to strike fear into the hearts of those who would dare to break the law under his watch. See what I mean? Sure, with Batman it was his parents, and with the Punisher it was his wife and children, whose untimely deaths led him down a path of vigilantism. And while both creepy, bats and skulls are very different, but still, that's surprisingly similar, right? Yes. The answer is yes. So, other than their difference of opinion on the whole gun-using thing, they actually have a lot more in common than you might think, like their love of jet skis. Number 4, Daredevil. Daredevil is a personal favorite and a character that often gets tossed around as being similar to Batman, and those comparisons definitely have some merit. They both had a traumatic event happen in their childhood that ended up shaping their lives. They're both masters of martial arts. They both know an awful lot about the criminal justice system. They both have a bad habit of getting romantic with their female enemies. They both love hanging out on gargoyles. They both owe some kind of debt to Frank Miller, and now they have both been played by Ben Affleck. Daredevil actually has sonar, so he's kind of more of a Batman than Batman. Honestly, their main difference has got to be that Daredevil occasionally seems like he's having fun, which is something that Batman is unlikely to be accused of. Oh, and all the red. Number 3, the Black Panther. Black Panther is a character who immediately reminds you more of Batman from a visual standpoint than Punisher or Daredevil, but the King of Wakanda and the Dark Knight have more in common than just their tailors. They're both ridiculously skilled fighters, they're both master strategists and scientific geniuses, they're both crazy rich, they both lost their dads to criminals, and they both look great with pointy ear things on the top of their masks. The comparison kinda starts to fall apart when you get to what they do with their superheroing time, though. Sure, Batman saves the world with the Justice League sometimes, but at heart, Batman is a crime fighter. Black Panther is more busy being a monarch and worrying about world-changing event-level superhero stuff, and doesn't really go out on a patrol for bank robbers and purse snatchers. Not saying that Black Panther wouldn't totally foil some bank robbers if he ran into some, he generally just has bigger things on his mind. Number 2, Nighthawk. This one is a little complicated because the character's origin is confusing, but there is absolutely no denying that Nighthawk was created to be a ripoff of Batman. First appearing in 1969's The Avengers number 69, with a group of other thinly veiled Justice League knockoff bad guys called the Squadron Sinister, Nighthawk was a fun, snarky way for Marvel to be able to say, see, Captain America can totally beat up Batman. The main Marvel Universe version of Nighthawk eventually reformed and became a hero and member of the Defenders, but Nighthawk is possibly best known for his alternate universe version in 1985's epic Squadron Supreme miniseries. A version of the character also showed up in Supreme Power and Marvel's Ultimate Universe. But no matter the universe, Nighthawk will always be known for being an imitation of Batman. Number 1, Cyclops. The best X-Man is also way better than Batman. Now, I'm just messing with you. Here's the real number 1. Number 1, Moon Knight. For my money, if you really want to play with Batman, but all you've got are Marvel action figures, Moon Knight is your guy. Sure, they have totally different origins and personalities, or several in Moon Knight's case, and they clearly have very different ideas about what makes for a good nighttime vigilante outfit, but let's look at all the reasons Moon Knight is at the top of the list. They are both highly skilled hand-to-hand combatants, and masters of all kinds of weaponry. They both have a guy with a European accent that helps them out. They both look pretty intimidating coming towards you out of the dark, but most importantly, they both have a thing on their chest and they're totally obsessed with accessorizing with it. If there's some kind of gadget or vehicle that Batman has put the word bat in front of, Moon Knight probably has something similar that he's put the word moon or crescent or lunar in front of. Batman has a Batcopter, Moon Knight has a Mooncopter. Batman has a Batwing, Moon Knight has a Crescent Glider. Batman has Batarangs, Moon Knight has Moonarangs. Lunarangs? Okay, I don't know what he calls them, but you know it's probably something like that. The important thing is that Moon Knight is just as hung up on making moon stuff as Batman is making bat stuff. And in the end, isn't that what Batman is really all about? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.